Now, the second and more unique, technically innovative part of the Immunify Firewall is that we have this mode called caller vetting, where we restrict who can call the protected protocol. And that sounds straightforward. And obviously, on the on-chain part, on the smart contract side, you just say, hey, this is the guy who called me. Should I accept the call? So it's brain dead on the smart contract side. So the smarts come in on the off-chain side. How do we know who to let through if you are in this mode? And this is a very restrictive mode, to be clear. You may not want to be running this at all times. So how do I know whether to let a guy through? And what we do there, the innovative part, is that we have a separate step where everyone who calls the protective protocol and runs code, like every smart contract that calls your protected smart contracts, their code needs to have been pre-vetted. So they get submitted through a separate application, and we have automated algorithms and, in rare cases, human inspection that will vet that this is actually legitimate integration code, a bot or an integrator DeFi protocol, and not a hack attempt. So